Today, we're really zeroing in on something major unfolding right now on the international stage.
Yeah.
Iran's making this very, very direct call for global action against the United States. This follows recent strikes.
It's definitely high stakes, a real diplomatic chess match, as you said.
And that's what we want to look at.
Absolutely. This isn't just, reading a headline. We need to unpack Iran's strategy here.
What does it mean for international relations, for global security?
Exactly. So our mission, really, for you listening, is to pull out the core insights from Iran's official statements, especially this bold challenge they've thrown down to the UN.
Okay, let's dive in then. The starting point, the catalyst for all this, it seems, is a pretty striking letter.
Right.
Sent by the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araki to the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. And Iran's foreign ministry published it, made it public.
Yeah, and what jumps out immediately, it's right there in the language.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill.
Arachi explicitly calls for the UN to condemn the U.S. government.
Not just condemn, but
in the strongest possible terms. That's the direct quote. For carrying out strikes on what Iran insists are its, quote, peaceful nuclear facilities.
Okay, so Iran framing them as peaceful, while the U.S. claims they were necessary for non-proliferation.
Right.
A clear conflict there.
A huge conflict. And Iran's calling the U.S. actions a criminal attack. They want the U.S. held accountable.
That's strong language.
It's really strong. It's not just rhetoric, though. By framing it this way, demanding UN condemnation, Iran's clearly trying to, flip the narrative.
Flip the script. Put the U.S. on the defensive.
Exactly. Put the U.S. often the one making accusations about nuclear programs, put them on trial, effectively. In the UN, the body meant to keep the peace.
So a strategic move to shift blame, gain sympathy, maybe.
For sure. And, crucially, to try and delegitimize what the U.S. did on the world stage. The world is watching. Inaction will not only exacerbate this crisis, but also further undermine global security.
Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan in order to destroy or severely degrade Iran's nuclear program. And as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs will demonstrate, it was an incredible and overwhelming success. The order we received from our commander-in-chief was focused, it was powerful, and it was clear. We devastated the Iranian nuclear program. But it's worth noting the operation did not target Iranian troops or the Iranian people. For the entirety of his time in office, President Trump has consistently stated for over 10 years that Iran must not get a nuclear weapon. Full stop. The operation President Trump planned was bold and it was brilliant, showing the world that American deterrence is back. When this president speaks, the world should listen. And the U.S. military, we can back it up. The most powerful military the world has ever known. No other country on planet Earth could have conducted the operation that the chairman is going to outline this morning. Not even close.
More than 125 U.S. aircraft participated in this mission, including B-2 stealth bombers, multiple flights of fourth and fifth generation fighters, dozens and dozens of air refueling tankers, a guided missile submarine, and a full array of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft, as well as hundreds of maintenance and operational professionals. As the Secretary said, this was the largest B-2 operational strike in U.S. history and the second longest B-2 mission ever flown, exceeded only by those in the days following 9/11.
He was fully committed to the peace process, wanted a negotiated outcome, gave Iran every single opportunity, and unfortunately was met by stonewalling, which is why he gave them plenty of time to continue to come to the table and give up enrichment, give up the nuclear program. But there was I won't say the particular moment, there was certainly a moment in time where he realized that it had to be a certain action taken in order to minimize the threat to us and our troops.